Hello, this is Dr. Jeff Brooks at the University of Tennessee Oral Maxillofacial Surgery Department, and for the next couple of minutes I'm going to demonstrate how to create a panoramic curve in LED imaging Xelis software. There are several ways to do this, and I'm going to review a couple of the ways that are most commonly used, and hope that this will help improve your workflow through this software. The first way I'm going to demonstrate is what's called the auto arch extraction. The way I do this is I bring the axial reslice down to the level of the mandible. I look in the axial slice, the lower left window pane, and make sure that I can see the anatomy of the mandible in the axial slice. After that, I will select the curve icon and select Auto Arch Extraction. So the software then generates a line, a trough that is, through the anatomy of the mandible with crosshatches that will allow you to navigate along the path of that line and see transaxial views in the upper left window. We can manipulate that several ways, and we'll uh, review that in a separate tutorial. So I can move the transaxial slice and look in the upper left window pane and see the anatomy of interest as I travel along this arch that I've created, or this line or curve I've created using the auto extract method. So this will actually save this project, and if you look at the toolbar in the on the at the top, there will be a number 1 in a blue box which represents this arch that I've created. Any project savings here or any manipulation of this particular project will be saved and in this first box here. So now I'm going to create another curve. Let's assume that my area of interest was in the maxilla, and I wanted the arch to be along the path of the maxilla. I'm going to do this manually this time. I'm going to select the curved icon, select cross section. I'm going to look in the upper right pane, and I'm going to adjust the axial slice to represent the maxillary anatomy. Then I'm going to start selecting the points for the curve composition here, and I'm going to start in the upper right behind the pterygoid plates, and I'm going to start selecting points by clicking the left mouse button. Anytime I need to make a directional change, I'll click the left mouse button and go along the path of the maxillary anatomy and double click at the end when I'm ready to complete that line. As you'll see, these crosshatches are developed at millimeter increments along this line that I can travel again by going down to the lower left pane and sliding the transaxial reslice line. I can go back to the posterior maxilla on the right near the pterygoid plates, and I can see the transaxial view, and I can continue to travel along that line to the posterior left and see the anatomy in the maxilla and travel along the path of that maxillary line. And you'll notice at the top of the toolbar, a number 2 has been generated into this box, and that allows me to toggle back to my first project, which was along the mandibular arch, and toggle to the maxillary panoramic curve that I created, so I can travel along and use the anatomy or look at the anatomy in the maxilla. I can change the thickness of this panoramic curve by clicking down here, usually picking the 15 or 20 millimeter thickness, which creates a more similar Panorex that we're accustomed to.